First of all, Governor Cuomo has handled this crisis with warlike preparations. And they may be commendable, but unfortunately for those who are incarcerated, especially the elderly and those with underlying conditions, he has totally ignored their plight. He has totally ignored that under his watch, hundreds and maybe thousands of incarcerated elders will die because he failed to act. He has a moral obligation to view this crisis from a humanistic lens, where he has to decarcerate. All the health experts agree that in a prison setting that is breeding grounds for this virus, decarceration is the only solution to stopping the spread of this virus, and he has yet to listen to the experts.
Aging prisoners.
Well, aging people in prison, those 50 and over, experience a health crisis just about every day of their lives for years and decades. Substandard health care is definitely taking its tolls in New York State prisons. Now comes this deadly virus to infect people who are most vulnerable not only in prison, but in our society. For Governor Cuomo not to address this particular issue, where the health conditions are just horrendous for the most part, and now with this deadly virus that's going to have catastrophic consequences, we have to look at this from a humanistic lens, not from a legal perspective, but just by looking at people who are incarcerated as human beings. And we're talking about the elders who have already languished in prison for 3 to 4 decades. They are the ones that have transformed a generation of younger incarcerated men and women for decades. We must look at them for what they are worth, and they have already demonstrated their human worth to us.
How many people do you want to see released, José Saldana?
I want to see as many as possible released. I'm primarily concerned with the elders because they have already languished in prison for decades, and they can safely be returned to society, to their home communities, and they will enhance community safety because they have the knowledge and the skills to address some of these social ills that we must address as a community. And anyone that has an underlying condition that this virus will prove fatal to, you have to release them. It's the only human thing to do, and it's the moral thing to do. And if Governor Cuomo is a moral man, if he is really concerned with those who are suffering the most from this virus, people of color, then he will address